Yo, what's up guys? Here's Mike and we're here with another video. With this one we are going to be talking about the jewel crafting trading skill here in New World today. My jewel crafting isn't very high, but I'm going to be going over the steps that I'm going to be doing to actually level this up to 200. Because I want to get it up to 200, especially for endgame. As you can see on the screen right now, my dude's level 55, almost level 60, hopefully going to get there this weekend. But with level 200 jewel crafting, you can start crafting some high-end gear with the rings, the earrings, and the necklaces. It'll be a little bit faster. Not a little bit faster, but you can get better rolls for more tuned to like your play style or your gear setup, because you can craft these necklaces and rings and whatnot to what you want them to be. Where if you go farm them on a monster, they're always that pre-roll drop. So today we're going to go over that video. We're going to go a few ways that you can level it up by buying it or mining it, and then just what I think is going to be the best way to level this skill up. And it's going to cost a little bit. It's going to hit the bank a little bit, but you know, we do what we got to do. I already spent 15,000 gold to level up my outfitting up to 150, so I don't mind spending some more gold to level my jewel crafting to get it up to 200 if possible. So first we're going to actually look at the jewel crafting log here. So as you can see, at level 0, you can make your flawed amulets. You're going to have to craft these all the way up to level 50, unless you want to make the silver bands, chains, hooks, and settings. The good thing with this is the majority of your jewel crafting, you'll actually be able to do with silver. If you're going for high gear score items, you're obviously going to want to make, you know, the gold version and then the platinum version. And then once you get up high enough, you're going to want to go all the way down and start farming to get the tier 5 items, which is the, I don't even know how to say this word, but you get it out of the tier 5 material, you get to craft it, and then you have a higher chance of getting the gear score 600 jewelry with this stuff here. But obviously at level 0, you can craft all the flawed amulets. You won't be able to make any earrings or rings at this point, and then you can make the settings. At level 50 is when you can start making the non-flawed amulets, which are good, but by the time you're leveling up throughout the story, you're really not going to need these. Most of the time, you're going to make these necklaces, you're going to dismantle them, and then continue on to level up your items. Also at level 50 is when you're going to be able to start making rings. So at that point, you can't make any flawed rings. That has to be the tier 3 stone rings. And then at level 100 is when you're going to be able to make the brilliant versions of the necklaces, the brilliant versions of the rings, and then you'll be able to make your earrings at this point as well. It looks like you can only, yeah, you can make a few of them. And then this is the point at 100 is when you're going to be able to make the platinum stuff. So here's when you're going to be able to get some better gear score items out of it. And then, you know, it goes from pristine to 150 and then all the way up to, you know, the 200 to make the tier 5 item to get the higher gear score things. So there's a few ways to get the silver. We got a map over here that I'll pull up right now. So as you can see, there's a lot of silver ore around the starting towns. You got a lot over here in Everfall, even over here, and you get a whole bunch of ore out of these. I think if you have the time while you're going to mine iron, as you can see, if we put the iron nodes on here, I mean, there's usually iron all the way around here. So if you're going to go get your iron, just get the silver while you're at it. Hold on to this, you know, keep it in the ignits. You know, if you want to transport them over into, you know, the ring setting or the gem settings, when you got the chains, and then, yeah, and you could do the rings and then the earring stuff as well if you want to. I just say keep those in there because you're going to need a lot of these as you're leveling up. Because when you dismantle your necklace, your ring, and whatnot, you're only going to get the bars back. You're not going to actually get the setting placements back. So you're going to need to make a lot of them, and they cost quite a bit to actually make. So to make these items, when you go into the outfitter, we'll go down to trinkets, and it's right in the trinkets components. So to make a chain, it costs 5. To make the hook, it costs 5. To make the band, it costs 5. So you're always going to be spending 5, whether you're going to be making the necklace, the ring, or the earrings. And then for the setting, it costs 4. And then you also need to use 1 precious metal when making this. So total per necklace, earring, whatever you want to make, it's going to take a total of 10 of those bars, whether it's the gold, whether it's the silver, platinum, and whatever else. So you're always going to need at least 10 per item. So when you mine it, you're going to be able to get a lot very, very quickly, especially if you're drinking your like proficiency potions to get more yield per item, and especially if you are using your territory standings here and getting the gathering speed up. So gathering speed is not actually how fast you will mine or chop or whatever an item. It actually increases the yield by whatever that percentage is. So in Everfall, I get 25.4% more whatever I'm doing when I complete that action. So I get 25% more iron, more silver, more raw hides and whatnot as I'm in Everfall, using the gathering skill, that is. So other than that, if you don't want to walk around the town to go buy these items, at least in my server, whoops, I didn't mean to click that one. These items are actually very cheap to buy. You can buy one ignite for 20 gold, 20 cents a pop, or if you want to buy the ore, if you have a high smelting, it's 9 cents a pop. So you're going to be spending roughly double, but you also have that chance of crafting, the additional silver bars per this. I don't think it's a good route to go make these out of the ore because you're not always guaranteed the double. It's more cost effective to just buy the bar itself, which is what I'm going to do here because I don't have any bars on me. So we can buy the bars. We don't need as many of them because it's actually cheaper if you're not going to craft them out of your own ores to buy the settings separately. So we're going to buy 200 of these. I don't have 200 gems, but I'm going to be holding on to these. And for this case, I'm going to be making a whole bunch of necklaces. So I'm going to need silver chain. So as you can see here, there's no silver chain selling here, so I'll have to just craft my own, and then we'll have a silver setting. As you can see, it costs 4 bars to make one of these. This person's selling it for 20 cents off, basically. There's no reason not to buy this. For how cheap it is, you might as well just purchase it. Yeah, you're going to lose out on a little jewel crafting XP, but it's really not that much when you're buying these here. So we need to buy some more silver bars. We'll just buy another 200 of them. We got the gold. So other than that, you're going to then either, if you're going to mine it, you're going to get a whole bunch of gems out of it. Or if you're not going to mine it, then you're going to have to buy the gems, obviously. Gems are kind of expensive. I think it's best to buy the cut version already, because if you don't have high stone cutting, you're not going to be able to cut the uncut gems at the stone cutter. Also, when you cut gems, it requires motes. So if you don't have the motes on you, if you don't have the high enough arcana to make, the blue or the purple ones, you're not going to be able to cut the gems anyways. So it's kind of useless for you. So you're going to be spending a little bit of money on buying these, but it's worth it, and it's actually pretty cheap. So as you can see here, my buy orders, I completed it. It's not showing up. I just bought 46 moonstone. It cost me around, I think it was like 80 gold total for this moonstone. And then let's look and see what else they also have in stock. I try not to mess with diamonds or onyxes because they usually are more expensive just because of the perk that they have, which is 1% physical damage absorption for the onyx. And then for the diamond, it's a little bit of each here. I'll show you. Whoops, not the emerald. So for the diamond, then you get 0.75% physical and 0.25% elemental damage absorption. Really good, especially end gear. Obviously, when you get higher tier gems, that's just going to stack up more and more and more. I think it like maxes out at like 2% and then like 0.75% or something like that, which is really nice. You take that much less damage, especially with whatever else armor, if you're wearing heavy, medium, or light, whatever those damage mitigations are, this just kind of stacks with it. Kind of nice to have, especially running end game like dungeons and whatnot. But on here, I'll show you. So I bought the moonstones. I actually bought them all out. They were selling for around 2 gold a pop. Not very expensive, but let's see if there's any other cheap ones on here. So obviously we're not going to buy this. 20 gold per one is a freaking ripoff on a tier 2. No one's selling the amber. I'm kind of on a dead server, so it kind of sucks. 5 gold, pretty good, but you can find cheaper. What was it? I think it was a sapphire here. So yeah, 2 gold, 2 for this. I'll buy these because 30 gold at the end of the day, really not that bad, especially if you're sitting here running quests, you know, skinning stuff and making everything yourself. You'll be able to sell these things. I like to make the tier 5 bags and sell them for a nice little penny, and you get some nice money back on that. 5 gold's a little much. And while you guys are playing, you can always sit here and put in buy orders, and I'm sure people will take your buy order over, you know, letting them sit in here, because I highly doubt a lot of these are actually going to sell. Oops, I already checked that one. And why would you want to just sit in here not doing anything? So we'll buy these up, and then we'll go over to the crafting station and we'll make all of these. Okay. So now we have all our components. Well, not yet. We still need to make the chains, I believe it is. So we'll go through and make a few of those. It's the chain, right? Yeah, we need the chain. So we'll go through, and we'll just make 40 of them for right now. As you can see, you get 0% right now at level 37. Hopefully that goes up a little bit once this gets up to, you know, a little bit higher level, but not 100% sure yet because I haven't made it there. Look at that, I got an achievement. So we got our items. Now we are going to mass produce our jewel crafting items here. So with this, it's obviously as easy as, you know, just clicking it and popping it up. So you guys will go through me here. I'm level 39. We'll spam click through all of these, and we'll go up higher, and we'll see where this takes us. And you guys can kind of see how fast this actually goes. I wish there was a way just to make all at once, because it is kind of annoying having to do all this. Imagine doing this with like 1,500 gloves that you have to make for outfitting. Alright, so we made all 25, so we just went from level 39 all the way up to 52. So now I can go through and I can make my earrings. Well, I could if I had the higher tier gems. But this is where, you know, mining this is going to be beneficial, because now, as you can see, if I want to make this level 51, this goes from 192 XP all the way up to 672. So basically making 5 of those is the equivalent of making 1 of these. And if I go, let's go look at the moonstone here in the auction house right now. So obviously the higher tier gems, it's going to start costing a little bit more. Some of the tier 4 and tier 5s are actually pretty cheap, just because of the some of the raids. They actually drop quite a few of them. So as you can see, it's kind of all over the place here. It goes from 6 gold for some reason all the way up to 90. I don't know who's selling it for 90 gold, but if we go search all here, you might see a little bit different throughout the whole time. So obviously once they put these outposts all together, hopefully some of these prices kind of start, you know, calming down, and we'll get more of a true price, because people won't try to gouge it out like this. Let's see how much like a cut sapphire is. So yeah, as you can see, it starts getting exponentially higher. So what do we have in our inventory here? We just did the moonstone, and I think we did the malachite. So yeah, here. I mean, look at this. It goes from 450 all the way to 97. So you just have to check the auction house every once in a while to find a good deal on these. I mean, if you can cut these yourself, and if you have the resources on you, you could always buy the uncut version. So as you can see, the uncut version is only 3, but some people don't have high enough stone cutting to cut these. I don't remember what it costs to, cut these here themselves. Here, we could just buy it because I'm pretty sure I have the materials for it. But you can take these over to the stone cutting table and do this all yourself. You will get the stone cutting XP at the same time with this, and you have that chance of making more because the stone cutting table does have that extra percent yield to it. So you can buy 12 of them, you might end up with 14. So you might, save a little bit of money that way, but you also have to take into effect of what it's going to cost. Where the hell is it? Oh, I don't have any soul wisp on me. So as you can see, it takes 2 green soul wisp, and to make 1 green soul wisp, you need 5 of the normal soul motes is what they are. So it's going to be quite a bit for me to cut all 15 of these, but I can put the solvents in here, and once, if I had the soul wisp, this would all show up. I would get a little bit extra chance of making it, and I might, get, if I get 10%, I have chance of getting at least 2 out of all these, technically, if you do the probability on it, to go from there. Let's see if I have a lot of these. It looks like I used a lot of my wisps. I think I made them into the green ones. So, yeah, it doesn't look like I have any, but that's basically the guide for that. You can just keep going up, keep buying it, put your buy orders in if you are going to be, looking to do this later on, just because if you put the buy order in, hopefully those prices that show, 450 all the way up to 90 aren't going to be there, because people are going to go in, they're going to try to sell it. Oh, someone has a buy order in for this. Let me just sell it to that guy, because then I can get the cash a little bit quicker. And then at that point, just make the silver. If you are going to level up, I think it's best to use silver, because moving up to gold to platinum does not change your XP rate. It's the same thing when you do engineering, changing between, the high tier materials and moving to the low tier materials for like the secondaries and whatnot. It doesn't change how much XP per that skill you get. So just stick with silver, make it cheap. Once you want to get the higher gear score, then go to the gold and the platinums and whatnot, because then you'll start being able to craft items, like that are 405, 500, 600, and you'll see sometimes people spamming over in the global chat there, want to sell, and they have like 12 different, pieces of jewelry that they're trying to get rid of, and some of them are legendary, some of them are just really good purples, and that's how you can make some of those. And at that point, you're going to start making your money back. You can give it to your friends and whatnot. You can put them on the auction house, because some people, don't want to farm that boss, for 40 hours trying to get that one earring. If they could just go on the auction house, buy a player made one, for a few thousand. So that's my jewel crafting guide. If you guys, want to watch me on Twitch, go follow me over at the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/here's Mike. Link's going to be in the description below. If you guys are on my server, which is the Chronimo server, feel free to add me, Mike Cockhurts. I'll be on here. I usually try to play almost every day. I want to get into some end game stuff, so if you want to party up and be with me, go for it. And subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, comment on it if you guys have any questions, and other than that, peace out.